When you call for just any ambulance service, you never know what you might get. But when you call Vital Care at 423-562-9370, you'll get an experienced staff, experienced and professional people who know what the word emergency really means. Don't just trust anyone. You do have a choice when it comes to ambulance service in this area. 562-9370. The final numbers of a record-breaking year for the Campbell County High School football team. They finished the season 10-2. They were 5-1 on the road and 5-1 at home. Ethan Jeffers threw for a whopping 3,324 yards and had 39 touchdowns and had only 10 picks. He was 254 out of 357 and had a 711 completion percentage. He also rushed for 60 yards. His longest was 19 yards. Receiving, Joseph Elkins led the way with 62 receptions for 1,035 yards. His longest was 87 yards. Trey Torres had 59 receptions for 783 yards, and his longest was 70 yards. But also, Trey threw the game winner against Powell, if you recall, for 46 yards. Corey Phillips was third with 52 catches on 793 yards. He caught that big touchdown pass against AC, if you recall. His longest was 52 yards. Preston Miller had 36 catches, which resulted in 453 yards. His longest catch was 46 yards. That's that 46-yarder he caught against Powell. Paul Cordell, who caught 34 out of the backfield, netting him 267 yards. All total, this offense caught 257 balls, went for 3,414 yards, and rushed for 936, led by Paul Cordell, who had 75 rushes for 385 yards, and his longest was 25 yards. So, lots of productivity and more to come in 2014 for the Cougars. Our defense, I don't think I have to tell you who led the way. There, Nick Bailey and Andrew Evans, they led the way. Nick Bailey had 91 tackles, 27 assists, totaling 118, and averaged 9.8 tackles per game. That's a lot of productivity from one man. Also, he rushed for 179 yards on 47 carries and scored a lot of big touchdowns for our Cougars, and none no bigger than the 21-yard run against Oak Ridge to seal the win for our Cougars, if you recall. You know, looking back, I can think of big play after big play that every man on this team came up with. A magical year indeed. I feel this is only the start, though, of something even greater to come down the pike for our Cougars. The first district game of the year, and looky who showed up. The Mavericks of Anderson County. Our JV girls lost, our varsity girls lost, and our varsity boys lost. Yep, that's right. The Mavericks came into John R.W. Brown Gymnasium and stole all three games, but I want to talk about the boys' game. They stole the game the Cougars gave to them without putting up much of a fight tonight, losing 59-48. The Mavericks weren't supposed to be able to play with our boys. They were supposed to come in here, lay down, and take their whipping, but these little Mavericks came out fighting, and they kept it up until game was over. It wasn't their fault our boys weren't ready to play. They couldn't help it Roston Lettner didn't score a single basket in the game. They couldn't help it we turned the ball over and missed a lot of wide open looks. They just took advantage of it, and they walked out of our house with a win and sent our Cougars home scratching their heads wondering how in the world we let them beat us like that. Well, we didn't come out ready to play. You know, you can jump around, get pumped up and all you want to and all that stuff, but you still have to work at winning, and we didn't. Now, we won't play again until November the 25th to the 26th in the Prep Extra Classic at Fulton, when our boys will play West the first day, and then we'll play Fulton the next day. And these two teams are much better than the Mavericks. Now, the girls won't play again until November the 29th and 30th, when they're in the Oliver Springs tournament, when they will play Stone Memorial the first day and then Sweetwater the next day. The girls right now sport an 0-3 record, and the boys sit at 2-1. Calvary Christian Academy, quality academics and biblical character. You can receive both. All the things you want in a school for your child. Grade levels K through 12. Phonetic-based reading, individualized curriculum, diagnostic testing, character building, and biblical principles. For more information, contact Calvary Christian Academy, 2139 Jacksboro Pike, P.O. Box 1402, La Follette, Tennessee. Phone 423-562-7267. 423-562-7267. Monday night, middle school basketball got into gear. La Follette Middle School was on the road at Clinton, but the Eagles of Jacksboro Middle School played host to the Eagles of Jefferson. The varsity girls and boys played, but the real game was the JV girls game, in which our Little Eagles beat their Little Eagles in 3 overtimes, baby. I love these kind of games. You never know who's going to win, and you get to the point where you just wish somebody would, so you can move on. Johnny Morris, the JV girls coach, was going bonkers over there, trying to get his girls to win, get them to get in gear here. And finally they did, 35-31 at the end of first regulation. It was tied 23-all. At the end of the second OT, it was tied 25-all. And then either Jefferson Eagles gave up or we woke up, and we won it 35-31. Nelson, Brady, Hundley, and Overton led our Lady Eagles with 6 each. Now the next game was a good one too. You know, I asked Wanda Snodgrass how she was going to top that, and she jokingly said, "We'll go 5 overtimes." I was sweating then, but it didn't, as Jefferson won 38-35, but it was nip and tuck the whole way. Leading our Lady Eagles was Madison Brady with 14 big points. You know, every time I see her, I sing to her, "The Brady Bunch." But anyway, along with Brady, and Carissa Nance had 8 points as well. Up next, the boys at the floor, and our boys, although they fought tooth and nail, they lost 41-33. Leading our Eagles was Elijah Phillips with 11 points and 12 rebounds. He had a double-double. And behind him was Jordan Henry with 8. Now, we're young, though. The JV girls team is almost the varsity girls team. That's how young these Eagles are. Now, the Owls were at Clinton. JV boys lost, the varsity girls lost, but our boys, varsity boys, won down there. Now, we don't have any details from that game, but we'll keep you posted. Christian Academy was at White Oak and won 42-38 in a barn burner. They were definitely the team to beat in the small division middle school. And, you know, they played some middle school, but large division middle school is pretty good too. And they're working their way toward the county tournament. Now, leading the Warriors was Ryan Roderick with 18. Will Paul had 10. John Allen Arnold had 7. Parker Trapman had 3. Joseph Howard had 2. And so did Thomas Chandler. For White Oak, it was Jordan Hall leading the way with 19 big points. He led everyone. Journey Ivy had 7. Michael Delk had 4. Tegan Coleman had 4. Stephen Baird had 2. Brandon Kennedy also had 2. You know, lunch or dinner time is a great time to call Papa John's Pizza. It's always hot, fresh, and delivered to your door. Hey, we don't have to say anything else. You know how good Papa John's is. They got the freshest ingredients, and let them prove to you fresh ingredients do make better pizza. Call them at 423-562-7272. Now, we're going to have an interview with Justin Price today, and we're going to talk a little bit about the season ending at Campbell County High School in football and get his thoughts on what a magical year it's been. And we're going to kind of stay in touch with Coach Price up there. And so you look for that on the next Sports Report. Okay, now, Thursday the 21st, La Follette Middle School will play Norris at home, and that all starts at 5 p.m. And on the 21st, Jacksboro Middle School is also at home against the Hawks of Clinton, but we'll probably, I don't know how we're going to do it. We'll probably wind up at both places at once. But no, middle school basketball is in full swing, so both teams are at home this Thursday. So get out and support your Eagles and get out and support your Owls. We'll probably wind up at La Follette Middle School and then shimmy on down to Jacksboro and see what's going on down there. Alrighty, that's all I've got for you today. I thank you for being with us. Go see our sponsors, won't you? Vital Care Medtrans and Calvary Christian Center, and our good friends at Papa John's Pizza, the best pizza anywhere. You guys stay tuned. There's a whole lot more to come right here on WLAF.